I stare at my phone, reading the family group chat for the third time. Mom's message is clear. Christmas dinner at Lauren's this year. Can't wait to see everyone. There are excited responses from my sister Lauren, my brother Marcus, even my cousins. But I noticed something strange. Nobody tagged me. Nobody asked if I was coming. I scroll up, checking if I missed something. Nothing. My chest tightens as I realize they're planning the entire holiday without me. Lauren posts about the menu, roasted turkey, her famous mac and cheese, Mom's apple pie. Marcus jokes about bringing his new girlfriend. Aunt Teresa asks what time to arrive. I type a message, "What time should I come?" Then I delete it. Something tells me to wait. 5 minutes pass. 10. Then Lauren's message pops up. Small gathering this year, just immediate family. I'm her sister. I am immediate family. My fingers tremble as I set the phone down. That night, I lie in bed replaying every family dinner, every holiday where I sat quietly while Lauren sparkled. She always needed the spotlight. And I always let her have it. Maybe that was my mistake. Growing up, Lauren was the golden child. She won beauty pageants at 6 years old. She starred in the school musical. She dated the football captain. Meanwhile, I spent weekends in the library, reading about ocean currents and marine ecosystems. Mom would beam at Lauren's report cards, straight B's with a note about her wonderful personality. My straight A's earned a pat on the head, and that's nice, dear. Dad tried to balance it out. He'd take me fishing early Saturday mornings, just us two. You're special in your own way, Maya, he'd say. But Dad passed away when I was 16. After that, it felt like I disappeared completely. Lauren graduated high school with a scholarship for cheerleading. I graduated as valedictorian, but Mom missed my speech because Lauren had a pageant the same day. I learned to be okay with it. I told myself I didn't need their approval. I had my dreams, big ones. I wanted to study the ocean, to protect marine life, to make a real difference. While Lauren posted selfies and collected Instagram followers, I collected research papers and scholarship applications. I got into marine biology at a top university. Mom said, "That's far away." Lauren said, "Who studies fish?" I packed my bags anyway. College changed everything. Professor Chen saw something in me that my family never did. She handed me a research project on coral reef restoration, real, important work. I spent 18-hour days in the lab, analyzing water samples, testing pH levels, tracking fish populations. My thesis on coral regeneration using sustainable methods caught attention. A marine conservation organization offered me an internship, then a job, then a project lead position. By 25, I was managing a team of 12 scientists working on reef restoration across the Pacific. But I kept it quiet. When I visited home for Mom's birthday 2 years ago, Lauren dominated the conversation with stories about her promotion to regional manager at a makeup company. I mentioned my project briefly. Mom said, "That's nice, honey," then turned back to Lauren's engagement photos. Marcus called me boring. "All you talk about is fish and coral," he laughed. So I stopped talking about it. I sent birthday cards. I called Mom every Sunday. I liked their Facebook posts. But I stopped sharing my world. Last Christmas, I sat at the kids' table even though I was 28. This year, apparently, I'm not invited at all. 3 months before that group chat, something incredible happened. My team discovered a new method for coral regeneration that worked 3 times faster than existing techniques. We could restore dying reefs in months instead of years. The implications were massive. Dr. Chen called me into her office, eyes bright with excitement. "Maya, this could change everything." The Global Ocean Conservation Foundation wants to fund a full-scale implementation. They're talking about the Pacific Heritage Award. My heart stopped. The Pacific Heritage Award was the Nobel Prize of Marine Conservation. Scientists dreamed about it their entire careers. That's huge," I whispered. She smiled. "You deserve this. Your research, your dedication, it's exceptional." The ceremony is December 25th. They want to announce it live on the evening news. International coverage. December 25th. Christmas Day. I thought about telling my family, imagining their proud faces. Then I remembered how they dismissed my work. How Lauren always found a way to make everything about her. How Mom's eyes glazed over whenever I mentioned my research. I decided to wait. If I won, I'd tell them after. If I didn't, they'd never need to know. Either way, I'd keep my dignity. The weeks leading up to the announcement were brutal. I threw myself into work, preparing our presentation, triple-checking our data. My team was incredible, supportive, brilliant, excited. They felt like more family than my actual family did. Late one night, my research partner James found me still in the lab. "Maya, go home. You've been here 14 hours. I shook my head. "Just one more sample analysis." He sat down beside me. "You know you're going to win, right? Your work is groundbreaking." I wanted to believe him. But a voice in my head, one that sounded suspiciously like Lauren, whispered that I wasn't special enough. That voice had followed me since childhood, and I hated that I still heard it. James seemed to read my mind. "Your family doesn't see your worth. That's their loss, not your failure." His words hit hard. I blinked back tears. "They didn't invite me to Christmas," I admitted. The hurt spilled out before I could stop it. His face darkened. "Are you serious?" I nodded. He shook his head in disbelief. "Then show them who you really are. Win this award. Let them see it on the news like everyone else." Something shifted in me that night. Maybe it was time to stop hiding. December 24th arrived. I checked the family group chat one last time. Lauren posted photos of her decorated house, white lights, silver ornaments, a massive tree. Mom commented, "So beautiful, sweetheart." Marcus added, "Can't wait for tomorrow." Not a single mention of me. Not even a "Merry Christmas, Maya" in a private message. I felt the familiar sting of invisibility, but this time something else mixed with it. Determination. I opened my closet and pulled out the dress I'd bought for the ceremony, deep ocean blue, elegant but simple. I tried it on, staring at my reflection. The woman looking back at me had accomplished things my family couldn't imagine. She'd spent years protecting the planet's ecosystems. She led a team of brilliant scientists. She'd potentially changed the future of ocean conservation. Why did I still need their approval? The question hung in the air. I didn't have a good answer. Maybe you never stop wanting your family to be proud of you, no matter how old you get or what you achieve. My phone buzzed. "Dr. Chin, ready for tomorrow? You're going to be amazing." I smiled. At least someone believed in me. I texted back, "Ready as I'll ever be." Then I turned off my phone and tried to sleep. Christmas morning felt strange. Usually, I'd be driving to Mom's house or later to Lauren's, arms full of carefully chosen gifts. This year, I slept in. I made coffee. I reviewed my acceptance speech one more time, just in case. The ceremony was at 7 p.m., live broadcast at 8. I had the entire day to kill. I thought about calling Mom, but what would I say? "Hey, I noticed I wasn't invited to Christmas dinner. Is there a reason?" The conversation would go nowhere good. Instead, I went for a walk on the beach near my apartment. The ocean always calmed me. Waves rolled in steady and eternal, completely indifferent to human drama. A pelican dove for fish. Sandpipers scattered at the water's edge. This was my world, the one my family never understood. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through social media. Lauren posted a photo of her breakfast table, perfectly styled with fancy plates and mimosas. "Christmas morning magic," the caption read. 43 comments already. Mom's was first, "My beautiful girl." I pocketed my phone and walked further down the beach. In a few hours, everything might change. Or nothing would change, and I'd go back to being invisible Maya who studies fish. Either way, I'd survive. I'd been surviving their indifference for years. At 6 p.m., I arrived at the Grand Pacific Hotel where the ceremony was held. The ballroom glittered with chandeliers and decorations. Scientists, environmentalists, and journalists filled the space. Camera crews set up equipment for the live broadcast. Dr. Chin found me immediately, pulling me into a hug. "You look stunning. How are you feeling?" My stomach twisted with nerves. Terrified, I admitted. She laughed. "Good. That means you care. But Maya, you've already won. Whether they announce your name tonight or not, what you've accomplished is remarkable." The foundation director, Mr. Harrison, approached us. He was tall, distinguished, with kind eyes. Dr. Rivers, thank you for being here. Your work has impressed our entire board. The coral regeneration data you submitted is extraordinary. He shook my hand warmly. I managed to smile and thank him, but inside I was screaming. He'd called me Dr. Rivers. I'd earned my PhD 2 years ago, but my family still introduced me as Maya, who works with fish. They'd never once called me doctor. James appeared with champagne. Liquid courage? I took the glass gratefully. Around us, other nominees mingled, accomplished scientists with decades of experience. I felt young and small. But then I remembered my research, my team, the reefs we'd saved. I belonged here. At 7:30, we took our seats. The ceremony began with speeches about ocean conservation, climate change, and the critical importance of marine ecosystems. I barely heard any of it. My heart hammered so loudly I thought everyone could hear it. Then Mr. Harrison returned to the podium. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Pacific Heritage Award recognizes exceptional innovation in marine conservation. This year's nominations were outstanding, making our decision incredibly difficult. He paused, and the room fell silent. However, one project stood out for its groundbreaking approach and measurable impact. This scientist's coral regeneration technique has already restored over 50 hectares of reef, with survival rates exceeding 90%. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Pacific Heritage Award goes to Dr. Maya Rivers. Time stopped. I heard my name, but it didn't feel real. Dr. Chen grabbed my hand, squeezing hard. James hooped beside me. Then everyone was standing, applauding. The cameras swung toward me, red lights blinking. I stood on shaking legs and walked to the stage. Mr. Harrison handed me a crystal trophy shaped like a wave. It was heavier than I expected. I looked out at the crowd, hundreds of faces I didn't know, all smiling at me with genuine admiration. For the first time in my life, I felt truly seen. I stepped to the microphone, clutching the trophy. My prepared speech vanished from my mind. Instead, words came from somewhere deeper. Thank you. I'm honestly shocked. When I started this research, I just wanted to help the ocean. I grew up loving the water, fascinated by the creatures living beneath the surface. My voice steadied. People told me studying marine biology wasn't practical. That I should choose something more normal. But the ocean doesn't care about normal. It needs people willing to fight for it, to spend long hours in labs and longer hours underwater, to believe that one person's work can matter. I saw Dr. Chen wiping her eyes. This award isn't just mine. It belongs to my incredible team, to my mentor Dr. Chen, to every scientist who believed in this project. And it belongs to the reefs themselves, those beautiful, fragile ecosystems that we're fighting to save. I lifted the trophy slightly. To anyone watching who feels invisible, who feels like their work doesn't matter, it does. Keep going. Keep believing in yourself, even when others don't. Thank you. The applause was thunderous. As I walked off stage, a journalist stopped me. Dr. Rivers, can we get a quick interview for the evening news? I nodded, still floating in disbelief. The interview happened in a blur. The journalist asked about my research, my team, my future plans. I answered as clearly as I could, trying not to stare at the camera like a deer in headlights. Your work will impact ocean conservation for decades, she said. How does that feel? How did it feel? Surreal. Overwhelming. Vindicating. I settled for, it feels like all the hard work was worth it. Every late night, every failed experiment, every moment of doubt, this makes it all meaningful. She smiled warmly. One last question. It's Christmas Day. Are you missing family celebrations to be here? My breath caught. Of all the questions, I forced a smile. My work is my celebration. The ocean is my family today. It wasn't entirely a lie. After the interview, my team surrounded me, hugging and congratulating. We took photos with the trophy. Dr. Chen announced she was taking everyone out for dinner. We're celebrating properly, she declared. As we left the hotel, I checked my phone for the first time in hours. 17 missed calls. 32 text messages. All from family members. My stomach dropped. The evening news had already aired. They'd seen me. They'd seen everything. I scrolled through the messages. Mom, Maya, call me right now. Lauren, why didn't you tell us? Marcus, dude, you're on TV. Even my Aunt Teresa, so proud of you, sweetie. I turned off my phone and slipped it into my purse. At dinner, I tried to focus on my team's joy. We toasted our success, shared stories about the project's challenges, made plans for expanding our research. But my mind kept drifting to those messages, to my family's sudden interest in my life. James noticed my distraction. You okay? I shrugged. Family saw the news. They're calling nonstop. His expression darkened. The family that didn't invite you to Christmas? I nodded. He shook his head. Let me guess, now they're proud of you? His words stung because they were true. I don't know what to do, I admitted quietly. He leaned back in his chair. What do you want to do? That's the only question that matters. I thought about it. What did I want? An apology? An explanation? Or just acknowledgement that they'd been wrong about me, that I was worth their time and attention? Maybe I wanted all of it. Maybe I wanted nothing from them at all. I want them to understand how much they hurt me, I said finally. But I don't think that's possible. They don't even realize what they did wrong. Dr. Chin, overhearing, touched my shoulder gently. You don't owe them anything, Maya. Not your time, not your forgiveness, not your success. This is your night. Don't let them take it from you. I got home around midnight, exhausted but still buzzing with adrenaline. The trophy sat on my coffee table, catching the lamplight. I picked it up, running my fingers over the engraved words, Dr. Maya Rivers, Pacific Heritage Award. My phone had 37 new messages now. I scrolled through them, my emotions shifting between anger and sadness. Mom's texts became increasingly frantic. Please call me back. I'm worried about you. Lauren, Maya, this is ridiculous. We're family. Call us. Marcus sent a screenshot of a news article. Local scientist wins international award. He added, this is crazy. Why didn't you say anything? Aunt Teresa sent a string of emojis and exclamation points. But the one that broke me was from Mom, sent an hour ago. I'm sorry we didn't invite you to Christmas. I thought you were too busy with work to come. Please forgive us. We love you so much. We're so proud. Too busy with work. That was their excuse? I'd never been too busy for them. I'd rearranged my schedule countless times to attend Lauren's events, Marcus's games, Mom's birthday dinners. When had I ever said no to them? I set the phone down and walked to my bedroom window. The ocean stretched dark and endless beyond the beach. Somewhere out there, the reefs I'd helped restore were thriving, growing stronger every day. I didn't call them back that night, or the next morning. I let their messages pile up, each one more desperate than the last. Lauren's tone shifted from confusion to irritation. Seriously, Maya? You're ignoring us on purpose? That's childish. Marcus tried a different approach. Hey, I get that you're mad. Can we talk about it? I miss you. That one almost worked. Marcus and I had been close once, before life pulled us in different directions. Mom's messages became apologetic poems. I know I haven't been the best mother to you. I took you for granted. I'm sorry. Please give me a chance to make it right. On the third day after Christmas, Lauren called from Mom's phone. I answered without thinking. Finally, Lauren's voice practically shouted through the speaker. Do you know how worried we've been? Mom's been crying for days. I sat down heavily. Lauren, I need space right now. She scoffed. Space? You won some award and now you're too good to talk to your family? That's incredibly selfish, Maya. The word selfish hit me like a slap. Selfish. My voice rose. You didn't invite me to Christmas. You planned an entire family holiday without me. And I'm selfish for being hurt. Silence on the other end. Then, quieter, Mom said you were busy with work. We thought. You thought wrong. You didn't think about me at all. Lauren's breathing quickened on the line. That's not fair. We just assumed. I cut her off. You assumed I didn't matter enough to ask. You made decisions about family without including me. How is that not fair to point out? More silence. Then Mom's voice came through. She must have taken the phone. Maya, sweetheart, please. Can we start over? We made a mistake. A big one. We want to make it right. My eyes burned with tears I'd been holding back for days. Mom, this isn't about one Christmas. It's about years of feeling invisible. Years of you celebrating Lauren's every achievement while barely noticing mine. I won a PhD, and you didn't even come to my graduation. Your graduation was the same weekend as Lauren's wedding activities, Mom said weakly. We had so much planned. Exactly, I interrupted. Lauren's plans always come first. Her pageants, her parties, her wedding. I've spent my whole life in her shadow, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being the afterthought. Mom started crying. I heard it through the phone's soft, broken sobs that should have made me feel guilty. Instead, I felt empty. I need time, I said. Please respect that. I hung up before anyone could respond. The next week, interview requests flooded my email. National news outlets wanted to feature my research. TED Talks sent an invitation. A publisher asked about writing a book on ocean conservation. My quiet life exploded into something unrecognizable. Dr. Chin helped me navigate it all. You're becoming the face of reef restoration, she said, clearly delighted. This is huge for our entire field. I did interviews, always focusing on the science, on the urgency of protecting marine ecosystems. During one TV interview, the host asked about my family. Your acceptance speech was moving. Are your loved ones celebrating with you? I paused, choosing my words carefully. My team has been incredibly supportive. They're like family to me. The host smiled knowingly. Sometimes we find family in unexpected places. I nodded, grateful she didn't push further. But after the interview, I felt hollow. Why did their absence still hurt so much? James took me to lunch the next day. You're handling all this like a pro, he said. I shrugged. I'm just being honest about the work. He studied my face. Have you talked to your family yet? I shook my head. Not ready. He didn't push, just nodded understanding. That's what I loved about my team. They gave me space to feel my feelings without judgment. 2 weeks after the awards ceremony, Lauren showed up at my apartment. I opened the door to find her standing there, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. No perfect makeup, no designer outfit. Just jeans and a hoodie, eyes red from crying. Can I come in? She asked quietly. I wanted to say no. I wanted to protect myself from whatever manipulation or guilt trip she'd prepared. But something in her face stopped me. I stepped aside. She walked to my living room, saw the trophy on the shelf, and stopped. For a long moment, she just stared at it. I Googled you, she said finally. I read everything. All your research papers, the articles about your work. Maya, I had no idea. I crossed my arms. Because you never asked. In 10 years, you never once asked me about my job beyond, how's work? She flinched. You're right. I was so wrapped up in my own life, my own problems. I thought, she paused, struggling. I thought you were fine. You were always so quiet, so independent. I figured you didn't need us. Everyone needs family, I said softly. I just learned to stop expecting anything from mine. She turned to face me, tears streaming down her face now. I'm sorry. God, Maya, I'm so sorry. For everything. For not seeing you. For taking up all the space. Her voice broke completely. I'd imagined this moment 1,000 times, Lauren apologizing, admitting she was wrong. In my fantasies, I felt vindicated, powerful. But watching my sister fall apart in my living room, I just felt sad. Sad for both of us, for the relationship we'd never built. Lauren, I said quietly, sit down. She sank onto my couch, wiping her face with her sleeve. I sat across from her in the armchair. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. The silence felt heavy but not hostile. Finally, she looked up. I saw your interview. The one where you talked about feeling invisible. I realized that's what we made you feel. All of us. For your entire life. She twisted her hands together. I was jealous of you, you know. When we were kids. I blinked in surprise. Jealous? Of me? She laughed bitterly. You were so smart. Everything came easy to you, school, reading, understanding complex things. I had to work so hard just to get B's. So I leaned into what I was good at, being social, being pretty, being likable. I'd never considered this perspective. I was jealous of you too, I admitted. You were effortless. People loved you instantly. Mom and Dad lit up when you entered a room. She shook her head. But it was shallow, Maya. All of it. My achievements don't matter. Not really. We talked for 3 hours that day. Really talked, maybe for the first time ever. Lauren told me about the pressure she felt to be perfect, to maintain her image, to live up to everyone's expectations. I'm exhausted, she confessed. Sometimes I look at my life and wonder who I'm even doing it for. I shared my own struggles, the loneliness of my work, the long hours, the constant doubt that I was making a difference. Science moves so slowly, I explained. You can work for years and see minimal results. Then suddenly, something clicks. She asked questions about my research, genuine questions that showed she was really listening. I found myself lighting up as I described the coral restoration process, the delicate balance of marine ecosystems, the beauty of watching a reef come back to life. You love it, she said softly. Like, really love it. I nodded. It's the only thing that's ever made sense to me. She smiled sadly. I don't have that. I don't think I've ever loved anything the way you love the ocean. Before she left, she hugged me tightly. I know I can't fix years of hurt with one conversation, but I want to try. If you'll let me. I hugged her back, surprised by how much I'd needed this. One step at a time, I said. She nodded, wiping fresh tears. One step at a time. Mom called the next evening. Her voice was tentative, careful. Lauren said she visited you. Thank you for talking to her. I didn't respond immediately, waiting to see where this would go. She continued, I've done a lot of thinking since Christmas. About you, about how I've treated you. Maya, I failed you as a mother. Hearing her say it out loud cracked something in my chest. Mom, she interrupted gently. No, let me finish. I got so caught up in Lauren's needs, her constant drama and attention-seeking, that I neglected you. You were easy. You never complained, never demanded anything. So I took you for granted. She paused, and I heard her crying quietly. I thought I was being a good mother by letting you be independent. But really, I was just ignoring you. And when you accomplished amazing things, I didn't celebrate them properly because I didn't understand them. Marine biology seemed so foreign to me. You could have tried to understand, I said, my voice thick. You could have asked me about it, shown interest, come to my presentations. You chose not to. She sobbed harder. I know I did. And I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. We stayed on the phone for an hour, both of us crying, both of us saying things we'd needed to say for years. Marcus visited the following week, bringing takeout and an awkward smile. I come bearing peace offerings, he said, holding up bags of Thai food. I let him in, and we ate mostly in silence at first. Finally, he set down his fork. I was a jerk. At every family dinner, every holiday, I made fun of your work. Called it boring. Called you boring. I nodded, not trusting my voice. He continued, truth is, I was intimidated. You're brilliant, Maya. Like, actually genius-level smart. And I'm just average. You're not average, I protested automatically. He smiled. I'm okay with being average. But I wasn't okay with having a sister who made me feel small just by being herself. So I minimized your achievements, made jokes at your expense. It was easier than admitting I was jealous. I'd never imagined Marcus felt this way. He'd always seemed so confident, so comfortable in his skin. You never seemed jealous, I said. He laughed. I'm good at hiding it. But yeah, watching you win that award, seeing people call you Dr. Rivers, it hit me hard. You actually did something meaningful with your life. We finished dinner and watched a documentary about sea turtles. Marcus asked questions, genuinely interested. This is your world, he said. It's actually pretty cool. I smiled. Want me to take you diving sometime? Show you a real reef. His face lit up. Seriously? That would be amazing. A month after Christmas, Mom organized a family dinner. Just us, she promised. No pressure, no expectations. I want to celebrate you properly. I agreed reluctantly, still wary of falling back into old patterns. I arrived at Mom's house with my trophy, as she'd requested. She'd prepared my favorite meal, homemade lasagna, garlic bread, Caesar salad. The table was set beautifully with flowers and candles. Lauren and Marcus were already there, both looking nervous. Mom hugged me tightly when I walked in. Thank you for coming. We sat down to eat, and for the first time in my memory, they asked me questions. Real questions about my work, my team, my future plans. They listened to my answers, asking follow-ups, showing genuine interest. Lauren asked about the coral regeneration process. Marcus wanted to know about the diving expeditions. Mom asked how I'd gotten interested in marine biology in the first place. Dad, I said softly. Those fishing trips we took. He taught me to respect the ocean, to see it as something precious worth protecting. Mom's eyes filled with tears. He'd be so proud of you. I nodded, my own eyes burning. I hope so. We looked at old photos after dinner, me and Dad on the boat, me holding my first caught fish, me grinning with a snorkel mask at age 8. You were always meant for this, Mom said. As I prepared to leave that night, Mom pulled me aside. She handed me a small box wrapped in blue paper. This was your father's, she said. I've been keeping it for the right moment. Inside was Dad's old compass, the one he always carried on our fishing trips. The brass was worn smooth, the glass slightly scratched. He wanted you to have it, Mom continued. He told me once, Maya's going to do great things. She's got a true north inside her, always pointing toward what matters. He meant it literally and figuratively. I held the compass carefully, memories flooding back. Dad showing me how to read it, teaching me about magnetic north, about finding your way when you're lost. Why didn't you give this to me before? I asked. Mom looked down. Because I didn't see you clearly. I didn't see that you'd already found your path, that you were already doing those great things he predicted. I'm sorry it took me so long. I hugged her, the compass pressed between us. Thank you for this. For all of tonight. She held me tight. Thank you for giving us another chance. I know we don't deserve it. Lauren and Marcus hugged me goodbye at the door. Same time next month? Marcus asked. I smiled. Yeah, same time next month. Life settled into a new rhythm after that. My family couldn't undo years of hurt instantly, but they tried. They attended my speaking engagements, asked about my research, shared my accomplishments on social media. Mom called weekly, just to talk. Lauren invited me to lunch regularly, sister dates where we slowly rebuilt our relationship. Marcus actually took me up on the diving offer. I brought him to a restored reef, watching his face light up underwater as fish swirled around us. When we surfaced, he was speechless with wonder. This is what you do, he said, awestruck. You bring dead things back to life. My work continued expanding. The Pacific Heritage Award opened doors to bigger projects, more funding, international collaborations. But I never forgot where I came from, that lonely girl who felt invisible, who poured her heart into the ocean because she couldn't figure out how to connect with people. Dr. Chin retired, leaving me to lead the entire research division. You're ready, she said at her farewell party. More than ready. You're going to change the world, Maya. I hugged her, grateful for the years she'd believed in me when no one else did. James got engaged to another scientist on our team. I was the best man. You brought us together, he joked. Your coral brought everyone together. A year after that Christmas I wasn't invited to, I organized my own holiday celebration. I invited my team, my family, Dr. Chin, even some of the grad students I was mentoring. We gathered at the beach near my apartment, setting up tables on the sand. The sun set in brilliant oranges and pinks as we ate and laughed. Mom helped serve food, chatting warmly with my colleagues. Lauren actually asked intelligent questions about reef ecosystems. Marcus challenged James to a volleyball game. It felt surreal and perfect. As darkness fell, I stood at the water's edge with Dad's compass in my hand. The ocean whispered against the shore, eternal and patient. I'd spent years feeling lost, searching for belonging. But I'd had true north all along, the work that mattered, the passion that drove me, the knowledge that I was making a difference. Behind me, my family and my team mingled together, their laughter carrying on the breeze. I'd built this, not just restored reefs, but restored relationships, created community, found my place. Lauren joined me at the water. What are you thinking about? She asked. I smiled. How sometimes you have to be forgotten to remember who you really are. She squeezed my shoulder. I'll never forget you again. Promise. We stood together in comfortable silence, watching the waves, both of us finally seeing clearly. The ocean had taught me patience, resilience, and the beauty of quiet persistence. Those lessons had saved more than coral. They'd saved me.